With all of this talk going on about Black Ops 6, today I'm going to rank every single Call of Duty game that has come out prior to Black Ops 6. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for the support. Let's dive into this list. All right, so here we go. We have our S, A, B, C, D, and F tier, and then we have our never played tier. And that one's going to have some games just because some of the games on this list are 100% games I've never played. And I'm going to be honest, I think most Call of Duty fans have never played. All right, to start, we're going to go ahead and put games in the F tier category that belong there. And the first one I'm going to put, call it what you want, I think most people would agree with this, is Warzone 2.0. Warzone 2.0 is not as good as OG Warzone. It's not as good as Blackout. And I think, honestly, it's kind of like they just lost their mojo. It's like they forgot everything that they've done. And so it doesn't have the magic. It's not the thing. It's not the gist. So I'm definitely going to leave it in the F tier because I think this is what I can argue probably made me stop playing Warzone. Next, I'm going to put the original Call of Duty. Listen, just because it's the first one doesn't mean it has to be the best one or the most nostalgic. Obviously, when you think of nostalgic Call of Duty games, you're thinking of Black Ops 2, MW2, MW3, the OG MW2 and 3, Black Ops. I mean, these are the games you're thinking of. Doesn't mean you're thinking about these OG games, and they are not it, Chief, and so they're definitely, the first one is going to be an F tier. Here comes my first maybe big take, but joining these two games in F tier is going to be Call of Duty World War II. I kind of appreciated what they tried to do with the lobbies, but it just really ultimately failed. I thought this game didn't look good other than the campaign. The campaign actually looked pretty good graphics wise, but no really good color scheme. The maps just kind of like bleh. I really personally, I'm borderline hated this game, and this was once again a game that was responsible for me and my friend group playing Black Ops 3 for about 3 or 4 years straight. Next, we're going to start our D tier category, and I'm going to put Call of Duty 3. The reason I put Call of Duty 3 above Call of Duty in the D tier category is because, if I'm correct, Call of Duty 3 is one of the only few games until more recently where you could actually get into tanks, drive vehicles, and be able to play that way. None of those games really had the base multiplayer traditional setup that we have seen until Call of Duty 4. However, they did have some vehicles, so it's better than F tier. But once again, those older games, they were foundational for leading into COD 4 and what changed the game, which was COD 4. But that doesn't mean they were really good. It's just kind of like they had to happen in order for us to get to where we are now, or where we used to be, because we got to the good point and now we're kind of leaving the good point. So with that being said, I'm also going to put Call of Duty 2 in the D tier category. I actually liked it a little bit more than 3. So if you really need me to, I'll put it ahead of 3. I played Call of Duty 2 a little bit, but like I said, it does not even at all compare to any of the other games. And it would be foolish for me to act like it does. The next D tier game that we are going to put is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 2022 edition. This game is just kind of, in its own way, a letdown. It was not, the movement I thought was a little bit clunky. I didn't like some of the mechanical features, and I honestly almost boycotted the game just because of that movement of taking things out of the game that had no business of being taken out of the game. Obviously, they took out red dots on the mini map. I mean, you did, but it was just not the same. You could not be quiet really at all. The maps were D tier, the game was D tier, and it's honestly just kind of, I'm glad it was over, and MW3 is way better. All right, the last D tier game that we're going to put is Call of Duty Vanguard. I mean, I think this isn't a surprise to anybody. Modern Warfare 2 and Vanguard have really been bottom tier games for recent games, and it's just kind of not been a good showing for Call of Duty. Server issues, bad maps, no consistency in the pub side, and I just really did not like it at all. First C tier game we're going to have is Call of Duty World at War. One thing I'm not going to let dictate this list is one good thing overriding a bunch of or bad or average things. And Call of Duty World at War has an average campaign, really. Has an average multiplayer, if we're being honest. It just had a really iconic zombies because it was the first zombies. It's not really B or A. That doesn't mean if you had so much fun on World of War that I'm dissing your fun. That's fine. This is just my opinion, however, and I did not like it as much, and so I'm going to put it in the C tier. The next C tier game is going to be Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019. Listen, I almost put this game in D tier. It's really not my favorite game at all. I hated the door mechanics that was introduced, and I'm not necessarily holding it against every single one of the games, but if you think about it, there's only one more game on this list that has doors that has not already been put in C tier or D tier, so that kind of says something, but I didn't really like it. I thought it was kind of bland. I didn't like the maps. I didn't like the format and the competitive side. The pubs were okay, which is the only reason I'm putting it in C tier. I think if the pubs were garbage, then this is definitely a D tier game. Campaign was meh, so I'm definitely going to put in C tier, but it is not one of my favorites. Next in the C tier category, maybe a hot take. It's going at the top of the C tier category. Is going to be Call of Duty Black Ops 4. I really enjoyed Black Ops 4, but kind of like I've said, I'm not going to let one thing dictate all the games and boost it up farther. So Zombies wasn't that good at all. If you saw my Zombies rankings video, I think I gave it like that middle layer. It didn't even have a campaign to be able to compare that. Pubs were fun, and they did have a ranked play, a league play type mode. But if we're really thinking about all the other Call of Duty Black Ops games, this one does not really compare. Thus, for it's going to be in C tier. And the final game that we're going to put in C tier is Call of Duty Cold War. Very similar to Black Ops 4. It's just not able to compare to the other Call of Duty Black Ops games. It had okay pubs, very bad ranked play. If you really think about it, the ranking system was awful, but it did have a good campaign. So with good pubs, good campaign, very bad ranked play, and not a good zombies. Maps were pretty good. I'm going to give it at the top level of the C tier category, and I think that's pretty appropriate. Hold up. Just so you know, most people who watch my videos are not subscribed to the channel. So make sure if you've been enjoying these videos and have been coming back to the channel to subscribe to it. It has been awesome to see the growth that we've had, but we can continue to keep growing. So please, if you want to support the content that I make and for more content to continue to come, just subscribe to the channel and send it to a friend that you think would enjoy this content. All right, let's go back to the video. First game on our B tier is going to be Call of Duty Warzone. I do not know why there's two of them, so I'm just going to go ahead and put both of them. I guess it could be different seasons. It's not 2.0 because that's down here, but I don't know why they would only highlight maybe two of the seasons, so I'm just going to put both of them there. Warzone in its peak, Modern Warfare 2019 going into Cold War, was awesome. It was fun. So much laughter and good times with your friends, and the game was just more simple. You dropped, you battled it out, and there wasn't bots. There wasn't all these extracurricular things that kind of get in the way, and the map was good. We love the OG maps, and so I'm definitely going to put it in B tier, and I think that's pretty appropriate for me personally. Next in B tier is going to be 2023 Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. I think this game is higher than a lot of the other ones that have come out because I think it's better than all of the recent Call of Duty games. Movement's pretty good. I think it's pretty fluid if you think about it. Not the worst maps that we've seen. Okay campaign and really good pubs and good ranked play system. So it's really just kind of all around B tier game. It's not A, it's not S, not spectacular, but it's a good B tier game. Next in B tier, we are going to put Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 as well. The OG Modern Warfare 3. I think the campaigns carry the Modern Warfare trilogy, the original, and of course they are iconic and make big differences because of the multiplayer added into COD 4, Modern Warfare 1, which changed the game. And the campaigns going from COD 4 to MW2 and MW3, I think were iconic to be able to have a storyline that kind of sticks together. Characters that we know and love, being able to follow them. And one of the reasons that it's not going to be an A tier was just because of the three, I don't think it's the best. And so I'm going to put it in B tier and let the other two kind of have their rightful place over it. Two more games in the B tier. The next one is going to be Call of Duty Ghost. I think this game kind of looked bland. However, I actually enjoyed the extraction mode. I know a lot of people didn't. It was something they tried different than zombies. First of all, anything that's following Black Ops 2 Zombies is going to be pretty bad. And so I think that was already going to be an uphill battle for the game. But to carry that point, I also think Ghost is a little bit overhated. And the reason I say that is because it came after Black Ops 2. If you hear anything in the coaching world, you know that if you are one of the greatest coaches of all time, you don't want to be the guy that replaces him. You want to be the guy after, because the guy that replaces him, it's always going to have the harder time. I think that's what happened here is Call of Duty Ghost. I'm not saying it's a good game at all. B tier at best. Could be a C tier. But I do think that it is a little bit overhated because it came after one of the greatest Call of Duties that we've ever had. And so campaign was actually phenomenal if you did play the campaign. Extraction was okay. and I thought the game was fun, so I'm putting it at the B tier. Last B tier is going to be Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. I think this game is overhated for the exact same reason that Call of Duty Ghosts is overhated, and that's because it followed up with, again, one of the greatest Call of Duties that we've had in Black Ops 3. There's just something about these follow-up games to Black Ops 3 because Infinite Warfare's campaign was phenomenal, an absolute, honest, like cinema to a degree. And the multiplayer was not bad. I thoroughly enjoyed the maps. I enjoyed the bright, colorful colors that we had. Even though we had some that weren't, we had maps like Throwbacks that I just loved. And I enjoyed it. I thought it was a little bit more smooth of a jetpack than Black Ops 3 and Advanced Warfare. And their zombies, like I've ranked in my video, are not that bad. So I'm going to put it at B tier, and it will be the final game in our B tier. First game in our A tier is going to be Call of Duty Mobile. And if you're like, what? How is that in A tier? Then you haven't tried it out. Call of Duty Mobile is pretty much that game that all Call of Duty fans wish they could have, where all of the main maps, main guns, main themes all come together in one place. And the fact that you can play it from your own mobile device and use it whenever you want is insane. You can plug a controller up to it and use controller. But I'm telling you, it's absolutely mind-boggling how this game is so good on mobile, has all these amazing features that fans love, and guns and maps and everything. And we can't even get anything good right now in the main series games. And so it needs to have its flowers. This is an A tier game, and you cannot convince me otherwise. Next in the A tier is going to be Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. I think it was good. Once again, good campaign, good zombies, and good pubs. And I think that it was always going to be a little hated just because it was the first. It tried something different, revolutionized the Call of Duty game. We had so many games that had no jetpack. It was always boots on the ground. And then we have exosuits. And I think they were unique. Even still, Black Ops 3 and Infinite Warfare had very similar jetpack system, but exosuits were a whole different thing, and I just thought they were cool. Sure, they introduced supply drops, which kind of hurt the game because you had different variants of guns that actually improved the gun's quality. If we would have had supply drops back in the day with it just being a simple skin or design like we have today, I think they would have been well received a lot better. But some guns did have advantages over other guns, and that was kind of hard to do. I think this game checks off A tier at minimum on every single category that I would have, so I'm going to put it in the A tier. Next in the A tier is going to be COD 4 Modern Warfare, one of the best campaigns of all time. I mean, just forever remembering those moments, the high-speed chase, exiting the facility at the end of the game, and being able to shoot a helicopter with a rocket launcher, the iconic moment on the bridge. This game also revolutionized Call of Duty with its multiplayer. The Call of Duty multiplayer format that we have and see today was started in this game. So it's iconic. It's going to have to be in the A tier, and I had so much fun, and I played that campaign probably 100 times. Next, we have Call of Duty Black Ops. I know a lot of people say this game is overrated. Not me personally. I enjoy the zombies, I enjoy the campaign, and I enjoy the multiplayer. And so A tier, A tier, A tier on all of the categories. It's definitely not as good as some of the later successors, but this game is a good game. And if you think it's overrated or so, I understand. I respect your opinion, but I had a lot of fun playing Black Ops, and I definitely think this deserves to be in the A tier. And the last game is going to be Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, the OG one, in the A tier. It kind of, like the first Modern Warfare did, it kind of revolutionized multiplayer once again because it brought in sniping like we haven't seen. Sure, people sniped in Modern Warfare, quick scoping, trick shotting, that all took storm in Modern Warfare 2. And once again, carried on a good campaign that we've had. And even though this game was so good, one of the reasons you're not going to see some of these Modern Warfare games in the S tier categories because they didn't have a fun third mode game. Third mode is a big deal when some of the best games have all three modes. And so that is why I'm putting it at the bottom of the A tier. You could have seen this coming, and it was the exact same way in my zombies, but I'm going to put them in order of S tier, and that is Black Ops 3 in the second slot, and Black Ops 2 being the greatest Call of Duty game that has ever been made. The Black Ops 2 campaign was full of such emotion. I mean, I loved it, knowing that there was a lot on the line. You have Mason and Woods, and they're dynamic, and then shooting him. I mean, I'm not going to go into it just in case. Going undercover. I mean, this game was just amazing. This was one of the best campaigns that we've ever had. Menendez is an outstanding villain. So we have an S tier campaign. The pubs and ranked mode style of Black Ops 2 was amazing. I mean, the prestige system was perfect. The creative class was perfect. Some of the best maps we've ever seen. This game is literal perfection. And then, of course, zombies is the best zombies we've ever had. I think Black Ops 3 innovated zombies in a good way as well, carrying it on. Their own new characters, some new maps, but then having Zombies Chronicles. But Black Ops 2 Zombies was the best zombies we've ever had. And S tier, S tier, S tier, honestly, S plus on all categories. Black Ops 2 is the greatest Call of Duty game we have ever had. So with that, Black Ops 3 takes the second place spot, but with the rightful spot, it should be proud of second place compared to the other games on this list. I think it did the jetpacks the best, even though exosuits were still unique, and even though Infinite Warfare had a very more smooth jetpack, Black Ops 3 utilized the jetpacks in the game mechanics, in the maps, better than any of the other ones. Outstanding guns. I thought they were so much fun to use and iconic to the degree. Once again, we said an amazing zombies. The campaign was booty, though. I'm not gonna lie, and I know that I would argue, like I've done on some other things, you could probably put it in A tier because of how bad the campaign was. Weird in your head stuff, not a hit. It was not a hit. But that is just how high the multiplayer and the zombies mode are. And so it's going to be an S tier, and I think it's a very good second place. Let me know what you guys think of my list in the comments below. If you disagree with me, that is fine. But if you agree with me, I like to know as well. So make sure to comment down below what you think about my list. Let me know who you think had the greatest Call of Duty game of all time. Thank you guys for the support. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are not, and share this channel with a friend if you think they would enjoy this Call of Duty content. Make sure to check out my recent videos if you haven't. Thank you guys for the support, and I will see you in the next video.